Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're rediving into the book Man, A Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. This is one of the most powerful and transformative books I've ever read, and I'm excited to share some of the key takeaways with you. Viktor Frankl was a professor in neurology and psychiatry, and his book is based on his experiences as a prisoner in Auschwitz during World War II. Frankl endured unimaginable suffering in the concentration camp. He was tortured, beaten, deprived of food, and forced to work in brutal conditions. He was surrounded by death daily, losing his family and witnessing the horrors of life in the camp. Despite all of this, he found a way to survive. How did he do it? Well, let's explore the first main lesson from the book. 1. You have to find meaning in suffering. Frankl believed that having a sense of purpose is the key to surviving any hardship. He references Friedrich Nietzsche's famous quote, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." Even in the most horrific circumstances, Frankl noticed that those who had a reason to live or why were more likely to survive. Prisoners who lost faith in the future, who saw no meaning in their suffering, were the ones who gave up and died. On the other hand, those who found meaning in their struggles had a much higher chance of enduring. Frankl himself held on to the idea that he would one day share his experiences in lectures and use his suffering to help others. He realized that in any given situation, suffering becomes bearable when it is given meaning. His powerful belief was that suffering ceases to be suffering at the moment it finds meaning. For Frankl, even in the depths of despair, the ability to find meaning in life was essential to survival. So, I challenge you to reflect on your own life. What's your why? What is your purpose? Finding meaning can help you push through life's challenges. You always have a question. The key takeaway is the idea that we always have a choice, even in the most difficult situations. Frankl writes about the space between stimulus and response. In any situation, no matter how dire, there is a gap of space where we can choose how we respond. External circumstances may be beyond our control, but how we react to them is entirely up to us. Frankl believed that the one thing no one could take away from us is our ability to choose our attitude. He famously said, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. No matter what life throws at you, how you respond is what matters most." An example from the book illustrates this perfectly. A man's wife died, and he was overwhelmed with grief. The doctor asked him to imagine if he had died instead, and his wife was left suffering. The man agreed that he would prefer to take on her suffering instead of seeing her suffer. In that moment, his perspective shifted. The situation hadn't changed, but his attitude towards it did. By changing his mindset, he found a way to cope with the pain. So, when faced with a challenge, ask yourself, how will I respond? The power to choose your attitude is yours, no matter the circumstances. Success and happiness cannot be pursued. A more important lesson from Frankl's book is that happiness and success cannot be directly pursued. He writes, "Don't aim at success. The more you aim at it and make it a target, the more you're going to miss it." For success, like happiness, cannot be pursued. It must ensue as the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself. In other words, true fulfillment comes not from chasing success or happiness, but from dedicating yourself to something meaningful and greater than yourself. When you live a life driven by purpose, success and happiness will follow naturally, almost as a byproduct. Frankl believed that if you focus on what's truly important, whether that's a cause or helping others, success will find you. Happiness, too, is the natural result of dedicating yourself to something bigger than your own desires. In closing, Man's Search for Meaning is a life-changing book with powerful lessons on surviving suffering, taking responsibility for your responses, and living a life of purpose. I highly recommend picking up a copy and reflecting on these insights. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Feel free to check out my other videos for more reflections on books and ideas. Thanks for watching.